in any kind of industry that we are working in, more or less, whether we large or indirectly we large or not, the things that we do may have a social impact. Recall back one of those three social service ideas. The first one is what? The first one. Well-being of society, right? Okay. So I want you to bring back that well-being of society for us to discuss social impact in accounting. We have already discussed the contribution of an accountant towards the decision making of those stakeholders, like the lenders, the investors, the customers, because they are very much rely on what you reported. Okay? Let us see specifically in this case, okay, in what area, okay, in general, it could have an impact for a specific thing that we do in accounting. Okay, I believe the example given here is the impact on depreciation on the society. Okay. We can now see and relate. Even we think that there's nothing wrong if we change the method of remuneration, but it is actually having a direct impact on the society. Okay, let's recall back the methods of depreciation that you learned before. Reducing balance method, or the other book. Other books are also using the term double decline. Reducing balance and double declining are the same. Straight line. What else? I believe in most cases, all of us, including myself during my degree time, we at least learn these two methods. Okay? But let me add two more. The third one is units of production. And the fourth one is sum of the year digit. Sum of the year digit. And the third one is what? Units of production. Whose pen is this? We have straight line.
Kita belajar kan. Dulu kita ada belajar term dia je. Cuma businessman ada belajar.
Sum dia digit.
Sum of digit.
Okay, we have these four methods, and later I will try to link what will be the impact if we change from one method to another. But maybe let's have a quick recall, quick refreshment on those methods so that we can relate. Straight line method, what is the formulas? Remember?
Cost divided by times.
Cost minus salvage value or residual value. Very good.
Divided by useful life.
Divided by useful life. Very good. Okay, what is salvage value? What is residual value? Okay, before that, salvage value, residual value, scrap value, they are all the same. So the formula here again are cost minus salvage value over the number of estimated useful life. Okay. How can accountants use this straight line method to manipulate the figures? In which part of this formula that you think you want to change if you are the accountant?
Salvage value.
Salvage value. What else? Useful. Maybe we can't change cost because we already have all the receipts. Because cost is historical, you have already recorded. But somehow you can manipulate with the salvage value. You can claim this asset has or has no residual value. Even if you want to put it even, you can put a bigger amount. Same thing goes for number of years. How can you know this asset can go for 10 years, 15 years? You can increase to 15 years, or you can even reduce the number of years. So can you see that things can be manipulated easily there? Okay. Okay, double declining. What is the formula? Straight line, you already know. Double declining is, the main formula is percentage times net book value. Percentage times net book value. What is net book value?
Tolak depreciation semasa.
Yes. What tolak depreciation? Cost minus calculated depreciation. That is NB. Whatever that you see in the balance sheet, cost minus calculated depreciation, right? So the amount is NB. Is there any part we can manipulate? Well, okay, percentage. How do we decide how much percentage should we decline? Okay, you can estimate, but if you want to calculate, there is one way of getting that formula. Okay, the formula is 2 times 100%. Okay, divided by useful life. Let's say I have the useful life is 5 years. What should be the percentage? If the asset has 5 years of useful life, what would be the percentage that we should get? 40. Yes, 40%. Okay. Again, if we are to manipulate, we can manipulate the percentage to be higher, to be lower, because we can change the useful life. Okay, the third one, units of production. The formula is, there are, first you have to get, I think I should write this as a cost minus salvage value divided by useful life. Okay, this is the straight line. So for units of production, the same thing, cost minus salvage value divided by estimated total production. Okay. Before I proceed, don't worry. You won't be asked to calculate EEG. Saya nak berkerut tu saya pun dah risau. Okay, don't worry. No, this is no calculation. You don't have to bring calculator for EEG. We are here to confirm our discussion that things can be manipulated. When we manipulate things, the impact will be to the society. Estimated total production. Okay, what is the difference between this and this? Look at the denominator. You know numerator and denominator, which one? The above one, numerator or denominator? Numerator. The bottom one, denominator. We just have to change the denominator.
Yes.
If straight line, we use useful life. Units of production, we use the production. Okay. How do we discuss it? Same thing. Example, your car. Okay, your car, in terms of its useful life, can be expressed in two ways. First one, your car will last for 20 years. That is, if we go by number of years. Secondly, your car can last for 500,000 kilometers. Can you see the difference? Now, the first one I'm talking about the second one I'm talking about the product. So, machine also can be discussed the same way. A machine can be either be expressed in terms of years, 10 years, or the machine can produce maximum how many products. Okay, so if you are using units of production, we need to know the production. Otherwise, we will use straight. Got that? And last but okay, have you guys learned this? The fourth one. Okay, this looks interesting and sounds interesting. What is this? SOTYD.
What's the business man?
Ah.
Business.
What is the formula? Okay, the formula is N
And
cos
bagi beda contoh. Tapi ada masa belajar macam business man.
Okay, what is N? What is SOTYD? Okay, I explain first what is SOTYD. Sum of the year digit. As the name implies, sum of the year digit means what? The total number of all the summation of all years. Example, if the useful life is 5 years, so the SOTYD is 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. How much? If the estimated useful life is 5 years, so the SOTYD
15.
50. Right. If the estimated useful life is 7 years,
7 tambah 6 tambah 5 cepat ni.
ha? 28.
Kalau 8 kan? 7.
15 plus 6 plus 7. 28. Right? Yeah, 28. So, your SOTYD will be, the denominator will be your SOTYD. Okay, if 5 years, put it here, 50. If 7 years, put it 28. And so on. Okay, when you calculate from 1 year to another, this SOTYD won't change. If let's say the first year you divided by 15, second year also you divided by 15, third year also you divided by 15. The SOTYD will remain, will stay the same. The only thing that is changing is N. How does it change? First year you will start with the maximum year. Let's say we are talking about the 5-year useful life, right? So the first year depreciation, N is 5. Second year depreciation, N is 4. Third year depreciation, N is 3. And so. So yeah. Again, the same question. Where can we manipulate? SOTYD. Again, because there is an element of useful. Okay. So now later you know when already we can start. But the impact is, you should think of the impact. Okay, don't worry if you think that you are doing something wrong. You know, you have to learn later in topic 2. We will have these 4 quadrants: ethical versus legal versus ethical, legal versus unethical, illegal versus unethical, and so forth. So, I would say manipulating financial statement is legal or illegal?
Illegal.
Is
Illegal.
illegal. If it is illegal, we can't change the depreciation method.
Oh,
But the thing is, it's legal. It is legal. You won't get caught. Don't worry. But is it ethical?
No.
That is the reason why some activities can be legal, but not ethical. Never mind, we keep that. We have a special session for that. To know and discuss the 4 quadrants. Okay, legal and ethical, illegal, unethical, so on and so on. Okay. Right. Any question for that? So now we can simply see. Yes, there are social effects. Okay, tell me what would the society be affected with if you change the depreciation? Okay, look at when it is higher. Okay, say impacts of higher. Okay, read this. If we put higher depreciation means what? Lower profit. So when we purposely want to record lower profit for the sake of what? What is the purpose of recording lower profit? Less tax to be paid. Right? Okay, who will be affected? Who will be influenced if you recorded lower profit as a result of higher depreciation? Shareholders. Shareholders might think that, oh, I will receive less this time. Something like, you have the money, but since you don't want to pay your shareholders more, you record higher depreciation. Okay? So the impact the society. Look at that. The lenders also will see that, oh, low profit means this company seems not really healthy. So let's restrict the loan. If they want us to give them more loan, based on this. Okay? Yeah, how? Yes, it is. Imagine if you are a kind of customer, before you buy, on top of knowing the quality of the product, some customers they are keen to know the performance of the company. Okay, maybe for us end users, end customers, we don't really be impacted much. I'm talking about the business customers. Like you are running a company, your company is a customer of that company. So think of that, yes. So imagine if that company recorded this. You as a customer, will you be okay if you see I'm actually dealing with a company that is low in profit? Maybe not as critical as if you are a lender, but for some customers, they are also particular in this, because especially when you are the customer, and you are the customer means they are the supplier, right? When they recorded low profit, you will be worried, because imagine one day this supplier couldn't supply you the product that you are producing. Let's say you are a manufacturer, you manufacture products, and you are a customer of this supplier, and this supplier recorded this. Imagine if it is a true case, the supplier is bankrupt. What will be the impact to you as a customer? You can't sell the product. Your production will be delayed. You will affect your own customer. Okay, and that's how you see things. Okay, right. How about if we lower the depreciation? Lower means higher profit. Does it sound good, or does it bring any? Does it also bring negative impact to those respective stakeholders? Think of it the other way around. Okay, who is the most impacted stakeholder between lenders, customers, suppliers, investors? If this happens, lower levels, high profit. I think it seems to be, every stakeholder will be impacted. Okay, I think one that we can think of is the lender. You are trying, for example, if this happens in your company, you are actually trying to tell the bank you can pay, but you are actually not. You are trying to tell the bank, oh, okay, I can pay. Look at my profit. But in reality, you are actually not. So you are not portraying, the real situation. Okay, so what makes, okay, now we know what are our roles, we know what are our functions. Okay, now we should ask ourselves, we want to be a professional accountant, or we want to be a professional and ethical accountant.
And
Not
ethical.
all accountant, not all professional accountants are ethical.
Yes.
Right? You can do whatever that you want. You are still be deemed as professional, but are you a professional, ethical accountant?
Habis betul.
So what makes us, what makes the credibility of the profession decline? I think this is quite common. These are all common sense. Due to creative accounting, the one that we just discussed, manipulating figures, changing methods of utilization for the sake of making the accounting more creative. Financial accounting distortions, you hide, you didn't report elements that you're supposed to report. Remember, you learn materiality. If you think that you don't want to disclose, you can, but it will be distorting the quality of information that you are displaying. Poor audit quality, right? This is very much highly debatable. That means some of auditors have been penalized with this kind of poor audit quality. Even it happened, I think, all over the world, even in Malaysia. Don't be surprised if you see this one of these before involved in this kind of poor audit report, and lack of auditor. Okay. Talking about independence, interestingly, when we reach corporate governance later, we will be dealing with independence. Okay, especially we talk about the board of directors. For example, we have independent directors, independent and non-independent, non-executive directors. We talk about that later. Okay, and since we know that these are all the factors that may cause the credibility of our profession, so what are the measures, what are the actions taken to restore? Okay, how do we read this from this slide to this slide? This slide is when you did something wrong, your name has been impacted, has been punished, badly portrayed. So how do you usually recover? How do you usually clean off your name? Okay. If you did something wrong, what would you usually do? Seek apology. Okay. Do something good or even better than before, right? And that is how the profession is trying to be improved. Based on following those big scandals like Enron and whatnot. So these are among the efforts done in our industry. Number one, establishment of FRC. Remember, we talked about from self-regulation to co, right? Before co, that means before FRC, accounting industry was regulated by the players, right? AASB and AESB. But since following the scandal, you cannot check your own work. Let me jump in the government, okay, so that we have a check and balance. Accounting standards backed by law. Some standards.
Creative accounting on the previous slide.
Creative accounting, like you manipulate. Cook the book. Cook the book is creative accounting. The one that we discussed, changing from one method to another is one of the examples.
Financial accounting distortion.
Financial distortion. Talking about the report, you maybe you didn't disclose. Let's say, especially when it involves materiality, all those small transactions you didn't disclose, and it seems around. So if you are not disclosing that because of nothing, that's okay. But how about if you are not if you didn't disclose that because you want to hide something, that is distortion. Okay. That means for good reason, for you know, for innocent reason, that's fine. But if something for bad reason, that is distortion. Okay, then and same thing goes for the other, measures or initiatives. Code of ethics, enhanced regulation, the more stringent penalties, and so on and so forth, and adoption of
FRC stand for
Financial Reporting Council.
Council.
Okay, you know IAS? Yeah. Right, IAS? Yes, it links to FRC.
So FRC ada satu je. In the world ada satu je.
It is an international body.
So satu je lah.
Yes.
In Malaysia tak ada, just MASB je.
Malaysia is referring to FRC, but of course we do have our own regulatory bodies. FRC is like an international, something like IAS.
IS.
If I'm not mistaken, FRC is the one who issues IAS.
So kiranya FRC ni the top mana?
Yeah.
Dia base dekat mana sir?
Tak pasti.
Oh,
Dia boleh Google.
FRC dia
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who is the
Sama.
head. Yeah, I know your concern maybe it is in US or Europe, but technically it is an international standard.
So kiranya dia produce IAS.
You know the benefits of harmonization, international accounting, as to avoid duplication, as to avoid miscommunication if different countries is using different standards. So the purpose of this is to reduce and minimize.
Macam standardized lah kan?
Yes. You know what? Before this, I'm not sure whether you learned this, but before your generation, even during my generation, there was a subject called international accounting. I'm not sure whether you have this. International accounting, during my time, we had to learn different, standards in different countries. Okay? Of course, they were having the reasons why they had different standards, but no more of that kind of subject because everything has been converged into IAS. Yes, in Malaysia we are still having our very own MASB, but very much influenced and referenced or referred to IAS. Okay, this is creative accounting. Using the choices available to present information in ways that clearly represent reality. Remember, if you think that straight line is in favor of what you want to show, what you don't want to show, you might choose straight line, or you might prefer double declining. This is creative accounting. Okay. Poor audit quality as a result of self-interest, or not really much of enlightened self-interest. Auditor independence. Okay, and distortion. Okay, and these are all the measures, the actions taken to restore. Okay.
What is FRC?
Financial Reporting Council. Financial Reporting Council. Okay, this is the last part of module 1. We are looking at the capabilities. Remember, we have to prove, we have to counter for those who are saying that our profession is going to be extinct. Is to show them that we are going to we have to improve all these kind of skills. So under business leadership, we are going to have this TSSE and SSKE. TSKE and SSKE. Technical skills, knowledge and experience. Technical means specific. Very technical. Like for example, you learn tax, only those who are doing tax can understand and know how to get back. That's very technical. And the same thing goes for the other areas. Soft skills, on the other hand, something is from you. Okay? You can nurture it, you can instill, you can develop, but it does not necessarily that you can learn it from someone or in class. Okay? Like for example, how can someone have a good persuasion skill? How can someone have a good listening skills? Okay? All right, I am done. Any question for part B as well as any question for module 1? So tell me, what do we actually learn in module 1? In conclusion.
About profession.
Okay, about the profession. What are the attributes that make a job as a profession?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we talk about TSKE, SSKE,
Yep.
and we talk about all the available opportunities we can venture in. Okay, we have public practice, PAIB, public sector, financial advice, and not for profit. Okay. How do you rate module 1 so far? Easy, medium, difficult?
Medium
okay.
to
I know
difficult.
you might be saying medium. I don't want medium. Easy or difficult? Easy. Okay, yeah, that's difficult. Wait until you see. I don't
So
Wait until you see module
to me, medium to difficult. Medium
medium.
close
No,
to
medium.
difficult.
Too easy.
So yeah.
Too
Medium but close to difficult.
Easy. Yeah, for me it is still easy
Easy.
because it is straightforward.
Boleh lah.
Right? Still manageable, it can be understood.
Anda rasa macam mana sendiri?
Because much of the items
Okay,
can be
okay. Anda rasa kat sini tak? Boleh dah,
with
boleh.
all the things surrounding you, right?
Boleh lah.
You know what are the current trends in accounting? So, but why do I say module 2 is different? You talk about it. Okay, now let's have a quick one. 5 minutes. And please do all these 3 review questions.
Apa lah. Tak pasti lah. Kita punya kan.
Ni apa dia? Assurance lah. Ni tenang audit lah. Tenang audit tu.
Tapi mana awak? Kita nak boleh tahu tentang kan?
So dia macam definition.
Page berapa? Saya tanya kau lagi page berapa kau tak tahu. Tak tahu. Pandai kau. Banyak mak.
Oh, ni banyak.
Kalau ada ni aku tinggal dengan dia lebih sini.
Ya. Semua kata sini. Page berapa? Oh, tengah jawab.
Tak tahu lah. Tak tahu. Aku mau tengok.
Ni kot. Page tu je kot. Tembak je lah. Sure sikit je. Kuat lagi tu nak dengar kau. Bisa jawab apa sah? Yang internet.
Okay, before that, please scan the 10 minutes for the question.